What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a 2007 Ford F250 with the 6.0 diesel in it, and I'm going to do the AC compressor, the accumulator, and the orifice tube. The compressor clutch is locked up, so that's why we're going to change it out, and we're going to get this bad boy nice and cold for the guys. So we thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Let's get started. You can see I lifted it up in the air, and I think I'm going to take this tire off, this inner skirting. Alright, so I gotta start taking these little bolts out, right? A lot of them are missing. These three hold something up on top. These three right here, and one right here. And I'm gonna take this whole cover out. That way I can reach in there, because the compressor's right behind here. And I ain't gonna lie, that compressor's a pain in the butt. There we go. This little vacuum thing, you can just kind of take that off. Pops right out. There we go. All right, now we gotta get access to this belt. By doing that, you gotta take out this little cover here, and it's got these little clips holding it in there, and these little round deals here where you can access to it. So I just basically put a little pick tool in there and I work it out. There we go. See this red lever deal here going all the way down to the tensioner right there. I don't know if you can see it here. Just enough so I can get it off the compressor here. Alrighty. Off the tensioner, off the compressor down there. I'm gonna have to take and unbolt this little fan shroud deal all the way around to loosen it up. It's tight down there for the compressor. Alright, so basically I'm gonna take these 4 bolts out for this little fan shroud that's right here. 15mm head. I went ahead and broke them free, but go ahead and and there's 2 more bolts at the bottom here on the fans. Pretty easy to spot. Supposed to be held by 4, but there's only 3 holding this one on. So basically right here we got, we'll take this nut off and this bolt out so I can get this out the way. And I believe last time I took this out too. It's kind of, we're gonna pull it out like right from here. Take this nut out. This thing right here. Pull that out. One thing I gotta do is this ground wire that you saw before under there. I'm telling you, it's really tight. Now that ground wire is up. Get that thing out the way. Here's the belt. This high pressure sensor. Lift up on this tab right here. There we go. On the side up here, it's got a little clip. Lift that clip up. There we go. See this clip right here? I lift up on it. Come right out. Try to get this out the way. I'm gonna take these lines out. There's a 10mm bolt holding both the lines on. So I'm gonna go ahead and right where my finger's at, I'm gonna take that out. There we go. There's a bolt for the lines in there. Now these lines will just come right out. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is when the cussing starts. This thing is tight, it's in there. You got 3 bolts holding it on. Not as bad as taking it up. Well, you guys will get one out. There's one. Here's the bottom 2. You can see too, I took the line, I put a bungee cord to keep it out of the way. 2 bolts. All right, come to find out, the one last bolt in the bottom is a 13. The other ones are 10. So I don't know why they did that, or maybe it was done before. I don't know. All I know is that I finally broke the thing free, getting at it from underneath. Last bolt, it's in the bottom. Actually, I'm gonna pull it out through here. Thought at first I remember pulling it out from the bottom, but I think I did it through here. Looks like there's gonna be more space through here, so. Come on. There we go. So this is why I'm changing the compressor out. It's locked up. What happened there? It's all locked up. So it's getting a new one. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the accumulator, and inside here is going to be the orifice tube. So I gotta disconnect this line out and stuff like that, and take the lines off. And first, I'll take this little deal off. You pull the. There we go. We're gonna reuse that. Use one of these right here, whichever size it is. Get in there. Push it in. Pull it out. Oh, there it is. I got it. There we go. There we go. And do the line right there. 13 millimeter up on top. Lift up on it, pull it. Oop. Pop this one out. Took the sensor off accumulator, by the way. Now we got to pull inside here. Orifice tube. One thing I wanted to do was clean out the system, and since the orifice tube had a bunch of gunk on it, I decided to look closer at the condenser in the front. So it's real easy to take out. You just take this little, the cover that was here, and then there's these brackets right here on both sides. Take off the lines, and then it comes right out. So you can see when I took it apart and took it out to look at it, see how it's dark right there? Those 2 spots, this is leaking. So not only is it really nasty inside, but it's leaking on the outside. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a new one in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to flush the evaporator core, because all the stuff and the contaminants that was inside the system here. So I got a bucket down here, and I took this hose and I connected it to there to kind of catch everything in the bucket the best I can. So it's just basically this can of flush. You can get that from O'Reilly's, AutoZone, or wherever. So I'll just basically put the nozzle up to it. You spray it out. Now that that solvent's in there, I'm gonna use some shop air, and I'm gonna try to blow the rest of it out because there's still some in there. Nozzle. I'm going to put the condenser back in, brand new one. Probably one of the easiest ones you'll ever do in your life, surprisingly. Make sure it sits in the bottom there with the little, I put new O-rings on these, by the way. Got this piece, just covered it up. There we go. Now these. And finally this bad boy. I'm gonna get this in the spot. Was before I try to line up to where the washer is lined up with the holes that was there before. There we go. All right, now they got this thing nice and tight. It's in there real good. Got the lines on, the protector deal on. Time to put this thing back on. There we go. And I'm about ready to put the new compressor in. It comes with these two little things that kind of align it real good. But before you put it in, obviously, it's gonna come with some new ones. I just hammered them in real quick, pretty easy. All right, so what I did is once I stabbed that frame up on top to get it in there, I put the bolt in the back and I held it in there until I rotated it. And then I just kind of started the second one. So it's a pain, you're gonna be fighting a lot. And guys, just this is the hardest part. So once we get those two bolts kind of start a little better, I'll add the third one and then I'll tighten them all down. I also cleaned the threads on the bolts before I put them in there so I wouldn't be fighting so much caca forms in the freaking hole. Alright, I got the compressor tight. Now I gotta hook up the lines to it. Now before, what I did is I took a little bungee cord to kind of keep them away. So I'm gonna pull that out the way. Pressurized, it's good sign. Now you can see it's already got the O-rings on there. I should just have to connect the line. I went ahead and just mounted the lines after I cleaned them. I'm gonna tighten it down. All right, well, I got the belt on. I went around and double checked, make sure it's on all the pulleys. Everything looks good. I want to show you this little keeper deal right here on the edge of this thing. And when you move the tensioner, you can put that in the way. So all you have to do is just pop it off, and then it will set the tension for you. It cuts out a step. It's actually pretty slick. There you go. Pop it off. Now I'm going to put the dryer in and the orifice tube. So here's the orifice tube. Basically, it goes in with this long side out so it can kind of filter it out. Now, these little tabs there is for a special tool. You can actually reach in and grab it and pull it out. But we're just going to go ahead and slide this bad boy in. There we go. All right, you always want to put new O-rings in. So I'm going to take these out. So I went ahead and put a new O-ring on this hose right here. I got the O-rings, I found them. I already lubed them up. Got the new accumulator. This comes with a new O-ring on this side. Now I'm just going to make everything loose. I'm not going to put anything tightened yet. Go. Finally got everything mounted. Tighten the line up. Be careful not to get the plastic housing in between the connection there. So we'll do that. Put this line in, wiggle it. There we go. Click, pull back and forth. Make sure we're in there. Slide this bad boy back on it. There we go. It's plastic, so you don't want to do it too hard. I always like to go through everything just to make sure I'm good. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to vacuum it for about an hour and a half. Because I flushed it out, I want to do a real nice long vacuum on it. Try to get all that solvent out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge it and fill it. And then after that, I'll put the rest of the stuff up that I took out by the compressor. So you're supposed to, once you fill it and charge it, you're supposed to rotate the clutch a few times. Just kind of get everything kind of flowing. And that's what I'm going to do before I put all that stuff in, because if I did it right now, it would all be in the way. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I got the high and low side hooked up. Everything's put back together. Now I'm going to put it on a vacuum. Now I want to do I'm gonna put a 90-minute vacuum again because I put some flush in it. I successfully completed a vacuum of 1 hour and a half, 90 minutes, and so the system should be good and dry. It held vacuum, which is good, and so now I'm going to add some oil. Now the system holds 9 ounces. Okay, the compressor holds 3 ounces, so I have to find a way to put 6. So I'm going to add 6 ounces to this thing. And the reason why I'm adding so much is because I replaced the accumulator, I flushed the evaporator core, and I replaced the condenser core. So basically, because it's pretty much a completely clean system, I have to fill it up to where the system level would be. Does that make sense? So I'm going to do that right now. So by doing the math, that's 180 cc's, which would be around 70, is when I'm going to stop. And stop. Now I got to add 1.7 pounds. So go down here, charge it, put a little more, 1.75, which is kind of makes up for some of the space in the lines. So that should be good right there. Start, open the, hello. All right, here we go. Now they got it aired up, full of oil and stuff. They want me to rotate this compressor. By doing that, I just kind of, that's why I left everything off. Just kind of pushed on it so I can kind of rotate it. And I did that for a while just to make sure it's not hydrostatically locked up, you know, with the oil I put in it and stuff like that. So we should be good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in all this stuff that I took off from down here, that stud. I'm going to rehook up this the air for the fan. I'm going to hook that back up, the ground wire. I'm going to do all that. So that's what I'll be working on next. So now I put those brackets in, the ground, this bracket here, and the support for the fan. So I got all those in. I gotta torque them now. Not really torque them, but I gotta make sure they're tight. And I also did the ones. Oh, there we go. I also did the ones up top too. So everything down here is put together, and the grounds are hooked back up. I'm gonna put these 2 up on top, and I plug back in the fan. Now, remember this bad boy? I'll put this on. All right, I went ahead and put the tire on and the cover. You can tell it's running right now. Starting to sweat. That's good. Nice and cold. That's what you want to see. Nice and cold. Let's see what the pressures are doing. We got about 30 on the low, about 275 on the high, but it's about 100 degrees outside right now. All right, showing that it's putting out about 45 degrees right now out of the vents. Feels really nice and cold, so happy about that. Everything looks like it's working really well. All right guys, well, I'm done here. AC is nice and cold. The guy's gonna be really happy. And as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Catch you in the next one. Later.